So the Halloween spirit is here. I'm gonna make a Halloween special of talking about a dictatorship that killed over 6 million people. Is that what normal people talk about on Halloween? Again, this is the same holiday where you're supposed to cosplay, go up to strangers' houses, and immediately force them to give you sweets. So I mean, is it really that odd? Spalvard, just admit you're weird. Shut up, Timmy! So anyways, without wasting more of your time, here's the full story of Pol Pot and his Khmer Rouge. Now before any of you smartasses start immediately correcting me in the comments below, Khmer is literally how you're supposed to pronounce it, not Khmer. Zha, which is Pol Pot's real name, was born on the 25th of January 1925. From what historians can gather, Pol Pot had generally a good childhood, him being raised by good parents, him being in a very wealthy area, and him generally not needing to deal with horrible things for a child being born in French Indochina. In 1945, Pol Pot went to Paris to study for university in radio electronics, but during his time in Paris, he starts reading books on Marxism. And once the university found out about all this, he was immediately kicked out of the country and forced to go back to Cambodia. But Pol Pot didn't come back to Cambodia to meet family, he came back for a bit more of a different reason than most. And in 1962, he becomes the leader of the Communist Party of Cambodia, which at this point has been outlawed by the monarchy. So Pol Pot's solution to this is just to remain in the jungles and create his own guerrilla force known as the Khmer Rouge. And he grew a steady following with just a bunch of teenagers who all they really did was just do a bit of ambushes. But that was really all the power they could get during the time. So around the latter half of the Vietnam War, the United States starts bombing Cambodia to get rid of the North Vietnamese people who were hiding in the country. And in 1970, the United States gets rid of the monarchy for possibly helping the North Vietnamese. So in retaliation to this, the monarchy and Pol Pot start working together, thinking that they're gonna be aligned and they're both just gonna save Cambodia. Let's just say that plan didn't work out. So on the 17th of April 1975, Pol Pot went to the capital of Cambodia, immediately took control. And his first plan was the Super Great Leap Forward, which forced everybody to leave their homes and houses to work a simpler life in the rice fields. After forcing everyone to leave, he immediately forced everyone to be the exact same. He didn't want everybody to be equal, he wanted everybody to be the exact same. If this isn't something that sounds like it came from 1984, I don't know what does. He would continue ruling this tyrannical idea and immediately started genocides against Vietnamese people, Chinese people, people who are religious, and anyone who even had the perceived idea of having some kind of educational background was immediately shot. Which is why people think that just simply wearing glasses in the Khmer Rouge immediately made you an enemy of the state. Gratefully, this horrible nation was ended during the Cambodian-Vietnamese War when Vietnam invaded Cambodia and got a decisive victory, which led Cambodia to be occupied by Vietnam for over a decade. Although the Khmer Rouge no longer controlled Cambodia, they still existed for a good while in the Cambodian countryside, until later on when the entire group would break up. And on the 15th of April 1998, just 2 days before the anniversary of the Khmer Rouge's takeover of Cambodia, Pol Pot dies of a heart attack. Although some believe that Pol Pot actually committed suicide just so he can avoid trial. So this is the end of the story about Pol Pot and his Khmer Rouge. So that was my first history video. Do you guys like it? Because I sure do. Now one thing I was trying to find while researching for this video was why did Pol Pot even become evil? Why did he do all this? And the only answer I can find is just the reason he became evil was because he just could. Which really separates him from the other dictators of world history like Hitler and Stalin. Because at least with Stalin, he was abused as a child, and once he joined the Bolsheviks, he started becoming power-hungry. With Hitler, so much horrible stuff happened in his life that he needed a scapegoat. And his scapegoat was sadly Jewish people. But with Pol Pot, nothing bad happened in his childhood. Nothing forced him into becoming evil. He just became evil because he just simply could. Which is just so strange. So I kinda wanna hear your guys' thoughts on this. So what's the moral of this story? Probably let's not be mean to each other. Yeah, that's a really good moral.